This is our walking horse gelding. Ed's where there's smoke. We call him Smokey. He's out of my mare, Jose's paroled at the Ritz, and by our stallion, the Diamond Trip. So he's a smoky black. That's what he is. So he's kind of this dark chocolate color. This is his first ride. If you've watched his playlist at all, you'll see we're adding stuff to it. And Kevin's been working with him and getting him really comfortable with all the groundwork stuff. And so this is his first ride. This is typically how our first rides go. They're usually pretty uneventful because we spend a lot of time educating them and getting comfortable with stuff on the ground. And our groundwork exercises directly translate to in the saddle. Like when we do disengage the hind end, how we hold our hands up and pull the reins and all this kind of stuff. It becomes very familiar to the horse to where they understand, oh, I get it. When I see these videos out there of people starting horses and they got someone in the front holding on to the horse by the halter or the rope, and someone swings on and let go and the horses are bucking like crazy and everything. Years and years and years and years ago, when I first got on a horse, I thought that's pretty much how you started a horse, because that's, what I heard people talking about. But then I've learned that you can really get away from a lot of that with some good, consistent groundwork like Kevin's been doing with Smokey here. Not to say, though, that they don't sometimes get scared and start bucking, Usually, I'm trying to think of all the comments I'm going to get, people correcting me. But anyhow, they usually buck out of when the person gets out of balance on them or the horse gets scared. That said, you get some bronchi ones that do it because they're just cantankerous and they just want you off, and they've learned that's how they get people off and they get left alone. So if you get one that's like that, good luck, because they've learned you're going to have somebody who can ride them through that, and basically. But then they'll test you. They're always going to test the person and see. Just like when you take a horse, a new horse, and put him out into a pasture with other horses, they investigate and they determine, how things are going to be, what the relationships are going to be, and who's kind of in charge, and and you listen to me, and no, you listen to me, and they'll get at it. They'll be sometimes biting, kicking, doing all those. But anyhow, we found that with Tennessee Walkers, at least, that's all I have is Tennessee Walkers here at our farm. They're not very bronchi. They just got a really good temperament to them. And you've seen in my other videos, I've talked about likened different horse breeds to how different dog breeds are. And you get certain dog breeds that have a really good work ethic, and they like to work for people. They enjoy it, and I think I would put walking horses in that category. That they do. They're very what I call biddable. They don't resist you a lot. They're just a really good temperament, good demeanor, and all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool how they are. I've just thought about something, like, I don't know how many of you know this or not, but in different breeds of animals, they've selected them for certain purposes, right? And in modern times, some of those purposes have kind of disappeared, and it's more just how they look. And I know I used to raise dogs. I used to raise Staffordshire Bull Terriers, and they're a bulldog breed. And people would there's certain traits that are in that breed. One of them was dog aggression. they had bred out of them all their what I call ritualized fighting. They would go right into a serious fight, you know, and hurt other dogs. But besides that, they were really super sweet with people and very biddable and learn very well. But sometimes you get people who, they think a dog's a dog and they get like a husky or something like that. And I'm going to get a bunch of husky lovers out there getting on me. But huskies were bred to pull sleds, and so were Malamutes and stuff like that. And they have certain traits that go along with that. And you can't get away from it. And so these horses, like Tennessee Walkers, were selected to be a saddle horse. And so they want a good, calm, good nature, some get up and go, not a lazy horse, you know, good temperament. And this is what you find in them. I'm reminded of this scientist, a Russian scientist who went to Russian fox fur farms and he'd go to the foxes that were in the cages, and these things were fearful, and some are biting and all this kind of stuff at the bars. And he selected, he started off in the beginning, he'd have like a glove on a stick, you know, that he'd hold out like that, right? And if they attacked it or went at it or, you know, showed any aggression, he didn't select those. And the ones who didn't, who maybe just slinked away from it or maybe investigated, he'd select those and bred them together. And then he kept doing this. He had this selection process. It's really fascinating. You can find some videos on this out on the internet. But what he did is he started selecting them on their gentleness. And it wasn't very long that he had fox that were gentle, like dogs, you know? Just through, I don't know how many, I can't remember how many generations it was, but it wasn't that long. And so that's how these breeds are selected. People will, if it's a bird dog, they select for certain things or whatever. And sometimes a trait pops up and they go, ooh, wow, that's really good. But anyhow, what was interesting about this was that they took what started to happen as he was selecting these gentle and friendly fox. I think they were gray fox is what they were. But anyhow, they started to pop up on them was like white paws, a white blaze up the forehead, white collar, like a border collie. I found that really interesting because this is what I say. Sometimes certain traits are linked with other traits. Like in this case, that pattern on a border collie is somehow linked to gentleness and like a biddable animal. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And you've probably heard different people have different, I call them like superstitions about different colors of horses and stuff like that, and different temperaments. But I'm always kind of, I think about it, think, I wonder if there's something here that, a certain color might have a certain tendency or something like that. I haven't come to any sort of conclusions about it yet, but I'd be interested to hear what you might have to say in the comments. I know people have pretty strong opinions about chestnuts, mares, and stuff like that. But anyhow, I thought that was pretty interesting. I was just watching it as I'm talking about temperament and stuff like that. But I really do find that the Tennessee Walkers just are a wonderful breed, have such a wonderful temperament. And here's Smokey. You saw him get off, dismount, and then mount back on, and he's doing really well. And now he's new to this. He's probably, I think he's 2.5 now, something like that. So when we get criticism, people don't think you should start a horse till they're 4 or something. This kind of stuff right here does not hurt a horse at all. I don't care what anybody says. It just doesn't. It's the drilling him. It's like, say we wanted to, I'm just going to pick on barrel racers, say I wanted to be a barrel race this horse. for some reason. And once I got them started here, I started running patterns and stuff. That's what will break them down. So what we do is we're just teaching them, like, this is kind of like kindergarten and first grade. They're learning to be relaxed and learning the program and learning that we're not going to hurt them and all that kind of good stuff. And so that's what the lessons are here. And we'll teach them, like Kevin's teach him just to go right now. So when he's gives him the cue with his reins in front, he'll put his hand in front like that. That's the first cue. Then he leans a little bit while he does that. Then he'll put a little leg pressure on it. So he's trying to exhale him into a stop there right now. So now he's working on stop too. So we do that, and then we'll be flexing him. Now, he's done some flexing with him already on the ground, then eventually what we'll do is we'll start disengaging his hind end, and then we'll get him turning on the hind end, like where his forehand is moving, and then we'll side pass. We'll teach him how to open the gate here, like to handle that. Backing up, speed control is going to be a big one. We're going to get him to go into different gaits and speeds, and that's a tough one for horses. When they start going faster, they sometimes get nervous and bothered by it, so that's something we have to work them through. And then we go out into the great outdoors, and we'll start like right over here. I'll show you, like we go right in this side lot here. It's a pretty controlled area, and we'll ride around here, and then we'll come right back in the round pen here, and then we'll ride them around in here, and then we'll go out kind of in this side yard here, and then we go up the drive. We have a side pasture up there that way, and then we'll head out and take them on a trail. So that's the kind of stuff we do, but we really don't work them every day. We found that it's not necessary. I've heard people say you want to ride these new horses 7 days a week for, 60, 90 days. I just think it's overkill. They don't need it. They need time off. They remember this stuff really well. So, and we have so many horses that we're working with that we pick them up and put them down and grab another one, and give this guy a couple days off or a week off or whatever, and then go back and circle back, and we find that they haven't forgotten anything. So they do really well. You're just doing good, Kev.
Yeah, he's doing really good.
Kev's done a really nice job with him.
Good boy.
Yeah, see, he looks, you can tell, if you can, horse behavior, you can tell he's relaxed about this and not bothered at all. And that's really important to us. We want these experiences to be good. Every once in a while, something will happen, like say maybe somebody drops something here, or something backfires or something, and they get a spook and they might take off a little bit. But all in all, this is what happens with us here. So this is Kevin, and he's riding Eds where there's smoke, which we call Smokey. And I think he's on our website, walkinghorses.com, pretty sure. But he's a really nice horse, this one. Yeah, he looks great. Well, thanks for watching. Oh, there's his shirt, see? That's our shirts. Let me see if I can zoom in on our shirts here. This is Kevin's wearing one of our shirts, and on the back it says, I don't want to get spooked. It says, some of my best friends are horses. You can see that in the bottom. That's in our store. Anyhow, that's Smokey. Thanks for watching. Should people subscribe? They should. Hey, smash that like button and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.